Welcome back, Inebriites. So over the summer, friend of the show and former podcast guest AJ Haypenny was kind enough to invite me to one of his comedy shows, and I thought that was such an honor. And then it turns out he just wanted me to give the comics a ride, and but that's where I met today's guest, Harrison Butler, stand-up comic from Cincinnati. Welcome to the show, man.
Well, man, it's a good time. It was a good time out there.
Yeah, it was so funny because uh, you were so quiet that night at Knockabout because you weren't performing. Then I think it was the next night or two nights later, you were on our show, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, where'd this funny guy come from?"
It was funny because I wasn't even like I was just supposed to be there with Neil, and I
Yeah.
didn't know what the circumstances was, or even if I was going to perform. He just wanted to bring me on the road and show me what the road was about. So I was just taking it all in. It's crazy because I'm always quiet. I'm really shy when I do anything else. And once people find out I do comedy, they're like, "Where the hell did this come from?" Just like you. So I get that a lot.
So was that your first venture on the road as like a road comic?
Yeah. Before I was before I did the Boston, I was in Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
right before that. So that was my first two like back to back road shows. So yeah, it was all new to me.
What was your take on like? Was it what you expected? Were you kind of like, was it more than you expected?
Yeah,
Like, what was your
it
take on
was a lot like being on the road because you gotta know different environments. You gotta know you can't have the same material that you have at home. Always you gotta find bits and pieces to connect it to the people to let them know that you also are paying attention to what's around them. And just like in Boston, it was at Plymouth. So walking around, seeing what was around, sightseeing and visualizing stuff, and being like, all right, how can I make this funny? And it was just so much to do, and then you don't know, how you gonna perform out there. So you don't want to, party too much. You just want to take it in and be, careful of your surroundings, but you still want to have a good time and, give your best.
so how did you get into comedy in general? I mean, like, was it something you always wanted to do? Did you do? I mean, I'm assuming you start with an open mic.
Yeah, so really, I make videos on Instagram. That was my thing. I wanted to go viral through the videos. I never really even wanted to do stand up,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah. So with me doing my videos and it started going out, um, I met people and they were like, to be the next level, you need to do stand up comedy. Like you could be funny behind the camera, but people gonna want to eventually see you in front of the camera.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, well, I got in contact with this guy and he had a production company and was doing a show and wanted me to do it. And so I was like, all right, whatever. And I just thought I could go out there and, do what I did behind the camera. And it wasn't a bad show. It's just knowing what comedy is now and being able to go back and watch that, it was terrible. Like, I survived. I think I did like 10 minutes, and I was just rambling on and just going. Like my family and friends were there, like they were all excited, and they were, oh man, it was good. Like you did good, and I was like, I don't think so. But it was definitely a fun time and a good experience for it to be my first show, and it definitely, taught me a lot.
Yeah, I always find like the family friends thing can be really tough because they're not, generally speaking, they're not gonna lay it out for you and be like, "Wow, you sucked tonight."
Yeah. Seriously, because I mean, like I got laughs, and
Yeah.
that's what you always want as a comic to get laughs. Like I didn't get booed or anything like that. So I just think they were just happy to see it happen because my second show that I did, that one was worse. And that's when my friends were like, all right, what are you doing? Like, like so I had to snap out of that real quick if I wanted to pursue the comedy career. And luckily I, got out of that funk and was able to, get my words and timing and everything better. And, and now it's going strong.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like the thing I hear constantly. It's either the first or second time was a complete disaster, you know?
Yeah. So like you just, I mean, some people come out of the gate swinging, congratulations, but I'm glad I got mine out the way, and I'm not gonna say every show is a home run, but like the jitters because you still learning. And before I just felt like I needed to drink or just get that liquid confidence in,
Yep, yeah.
and now I could go up, I have me a drink or whatever, and just be cool, relaxed, and comfortable up there, and that's what it's all about is get comfortable.
So what kind of videos were you making on Instagram?
There's all type of videos. Just it was those women crush Wednesday videos where you find those models and you shout them out and hope and pray that they see it, but they never do. I actually had a couple actually comment and like, so that was like a highlight of my
Yeah.
video career. And then I'm from Cincinnati, so I'm a big Bengals fan. So I've been do my Bengals videos and make little videos to like music videos. What was that Thriller app that was out, and you can make
Hmm.
music videos to that. I did a Bruno Mars one to that. That's what I like song. So I was just going around everywhere and just trying to create skits and just have my own little lane. But yeah, that's what I really wanted to do. But that's even harder now because there's so many content creators out. You know, so trying to be original, it's tough.
It's crazy. It's like, there's so many people creating content out there now. And then you
Yeah,
see one that like catches on and you're like, God damn it, that's so fucking simple.
it's the craziest thing ever. Like it's really hard because really nothing is really original anymore. It's like
Hmm.
everybody is redoing somebody else's thing and it is making them famous, but the other person that is redoing it is more popular than the person that
Yeah.
is making the original content. So it's like, yeah, I can't get down with TikTok. I can't do the dances and all the trends. Like it's too much. So I said, I luckily my Bengals they finally holding it down and doing well. So I come up with my content like that and got got a good following with my Who They Nation folks. So you can't really recreate that.
No. And I mean that's also like, I mean, it's a really rich resource. I mean, I remember I'm not a sports person. I do know that the Bengals play football. Um, but like one of the cleverest bits I've ever seen anywhere was a sports station around here. They used to do the drunken Red Sox recap, and they would just go to the bar after a game and find the drunkest
Mm-hmm.
person they could find, and be
Yep,
like,
yep,
"Tell us what
yep.
happened in the game." Like,
That's a good idea. That will go well, great here in Cincinnati because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the Bengals tailgates is one. I think I saw it as one of the drunkest tailgates that is around. So I know we're up there. I know we still got to be like Buffalo and it's probably even Boston with the with the Patriots. But I know we're up there with being the drunkest. So that would definitely be a good time.
yeah, I mean, you just need like that catch of like something witty, like tailgate teleprompter or something, and you replay something and have the people do the play by just something stupid, and like when it catches on, man, like
Go. If people come find you now, they want to get in front of the camera as soon as they see it. They don't care.
yeah.
Right? So, oh yeah, that would be good. That would be super dope.
Yeah. Are you still traveling around, or are you pretty much just in Cincinnati right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in Cincinnati right now. As far as I go, it's like up Dayton, which is like 45 minutes from here. Just trying to get as much work as I can. I've been lucky to open up for a couple people. I actually just recently opened up, and I should have known who I was opening up for because you should do your research on your headliners, but
Yep.
that's something I'm still learning. But it was a guy. He's from New York. His name is Nick Orton, and if you are familiar with wrestling, the last name
Oh,
Orton,
Orton. Yeah, yeah.
Randy Orton's brother.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that was pretty cool. Like, not like I'm like, it's no way. Like, you hear the last name Orton, you like, all right, it's that. There's no way. Like, not putting two and two together, and they once you look at them, they kind of look alike now. Like, so, but it's just like, wow, like this is literally Randy Orton's brother. So that was cool. Like, yeah, so I'm just meeting people, and I opened up for Miss Pat. She's a big comedian out of Atlanta, out here in Cincinnati, at the Liberty Funny Bone. And that was my first comedy club experience weekend hosting.
Yeah.
And I just got the call on a Thursday. It was like, hey, are you free this weekend? I was like, I can be. Like, you might want to be. You could host for Miss Pat. And I did that. He's like, well, just let you know, like, it's a packed weekend. I think the Saturday shows are sold out. And I'm used to, sold out shows, maybe 40, 50 people, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
This was 400.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm yeah. Like I was like, oh my God. Like it was crazy. Like talking about nervous. Like we had 2 shows Friday and 2 shows Saturday. I mean, every show was just I was like, why would you ask me to do this right now? Like this could have went really bad. But luckily it was all good, and it was a fun weekend. It was a great experience to be able to host for her. That was my first big time celebrity to, host for. She has a Emmy nominated show called Miss Pat that's
Yeah.
out there on BT Plus. So yeah, I was kind of shaking in my boots on that one.
And I mean, like, that's the kind of mentality that I try to have, and I think successful people have to have, is like when that call comes, you go, I mean, yeah, I'll, whatever, I'll be there, and it's those
Yeah,
opportunities present themselves, and if you don't take them, then you're not going to get them again.
exactly. And that was my point. That was really why I really came out to Boston, because I didn't know what I was really gonna get into. He was just like, I could bring you out here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get on the first show, but the second show, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get on. So I was just, there just seeing what was happening and just taking it all in. Because you never know when that opportunity presents itself. You got to be ready, and you got to be ready to show out. And you never know who's watching and who's gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect example is that show. I mean, we had people there that were planning a fundraiser, and we brought them in, like, all right, we'll come to the show, check it out, see what you think. And initially they're like, okay, we started talking like details and whatever, but they're like, that Harrison guy, we want him on the show. Long story short, we didn't end up booking the fundraiser. They went with someone else, but like you could have ended up bringing you back. It's like you just
Yeah,
never know
no,
who's watching.
yeah, when you told me that, I was like, "What? like, what was that?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, I'll definitely come back with her, whatever opportunity is." Like, I'm always open to, you never know how many of these doors gonna keep opening for you. So you got to jump on it when they present themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's kind of the same with the podcast. We've experienced that with our events. You never know who's listening or like who knows who, and
Right, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's
it's
why I always try to keep, I never try to talk down on anybody, because I mean, in this industry, we all are working. We
yeah,
are all are working to try to, be the next thing or whatever. And it's just I see some people, they get around and they this guy, But it's like, bro, we all working. We all working. Now, some people do, we
yeah.
all know, but it's just those people that I don't see some, they work harder than the people who, are you know, trying to be something. And it's like that's why they getting booked. It's like, they out here trying and not worried about, what the next person is doing. They don't care. Like they there to have fun. And that's all I try to do is just have fun. Have fun with it and be me. That's all I could do.
How does the comedy scene differ between Cincinnati and Boston? Did you notice a specific difference, or it's just kind of
Oh,
different accents?
yeah. It's definitely different accents. Definitely different accents. And I think there it was it's kind of the same really, because I even did, my Bengals like jokes out there, and it hit and it worked. And I just think with Boston, it's so much, you know, probably to me it's bigger. I don't know what's bigger or not, Cincinnati, Boston, but it's definitely a lot of area to cover out there, and a lot of like, well, Plymouth was beautiful, and it made it honestly for me easy to talk about because
Yeah.
it's so much history there, and you get there and it's like, really, this Plymouth for real, like, like, like this it? Like I thought, like it'd be big, but like the like I mean, just that area, it was. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and then I'll never forget the Rock because I was thinking, this Rock is gonna be some massive rock. Plymouth Rock was gonna be something. And I get there and I'm like, that's the Rock. That is really the Rock right there.
That's pretty much what everyone they're like, oh.
I'm like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
Plymouth, okay, cool. But I mean, yeah, like the food was amazing though. I forget the name of that restaurant that was right there by the water. And went and they had it was a lobster grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, that thing was amazing.
Yeah.
That thing was good. Y'all got some good food out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, there's amazing places down here. I mean, you've been down here. There's
Yeah,
40 bars and
yeah,
restaurants within walking distance of your hotel, and
yeah.
yeah.
Everywhere. It's like it's definitely gonna be a great time out there. I definitely would love to come back. I don't know about y'all winners though, because we
Oh, it's
already
cold
got
as
some tough
balls
winners.
right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the weirdest thing about winters here is it is a complete roll of dice. Like it is freezing today. 2 days from now, it could be 60. The day after that, you
Yeah.
could get snow. Like we'll it happens more and more often, but like we'll get thunder and lightning, snow, and it's the most unnerving thing because every part of your brain is like that's not supposed to happen.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna have to catch y'all in the summertime, fall. I
Yeah.
gotta leave y'all alone during the winter. Y'all can have that one.
So let's talk about like how you write jokes because I think you did a couple about your experience here. I think like some guy like invited you out on his boat or something like that.
That was like, so basically, I don't write.
Okay.
Everything is kind of just off the top. Like I have things that I know I'm gonna say. I just don't know when I'm gonna say them or how I'm gonna say them. So I have an idea, but for the most part, I just go in and I just I'm a very visual person. So I look peep out the crowd, I peep out the scenery, like I said, and I take in the experiences that I have when I'm out or just before the show. It could be a conversation I have. And it just so happened that day, right before the show, I'm at the restaurant and this guy's talking to me and I'm telling him about the show. And he's like, oh man, like the water's beautiful. Like, have you ever been on a boat? I was like, I mean, I've been on a cruise ship, but I ain't never just been like on a boat. And he's like, oh man, we got whales and stuff. Like, I was like, oh man, what? And he's
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
whales were
yeah,
crazy at that time. Yeah,
yeah. And I
yeah.
was like, I had no idea. So he's like, man, I know this is gonna sound weird, but you want to go on my boat? I was like, I mean, sure. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, so
Meanwhile,
yeah, we
every
go.
woman listening is like, "No, don't get on the
Right,
boat."
don't get on the boat. Don't go. I'm like, man, I'm in the car. I'm texting my aunt, sending everybody my location. Like, hey, please, if I go out, I'm going out on this man's boat. So we get back to his place and I'm expecting like a big boat type thing. It's just this little fisherman boat. I'm like, oh Lord, and my black ass about to die. I'm like, oh man. So we hooked the boat up and then he's like, you ever rode on a four wheeler? I was like, I mean, yeah. He's like, well, I got one. You want to, take it around? I'm like, this is just getting crazier and crazier. So he had a big thing of land. We cranked that thing up, ride it around. I'm like, all right, let's get this boat on. let's get on this boat. I survived the four wheel. Let's go on the boat. Get on the boat, and I mean, it was beautiful. Like it was literally like I'm once again, like I said, those opportunities, like you should be more aware, but if they all go well,
Yeah.
like it was a beautiful thing. He, took me all like out there. He even let me drive the boat, which I was very scared because I ain't never drove a boat. And when you hitting them waves, you got to sit there and hold it down.
Yeah.
And as soon as you let that thing go, it's over. But you know, it was beautiful, and they I think it was like some couple little beach houses out there where it's just land, like the sand and houses. I'm like, oh yeah, I know it get crazy out here, but it was beautiful. We out in the middle of the ocean, and he just like, you want to go in for a swim? I'm like, nah, that's where I'm gonna say no.
That's where you need to. Yeah.
That's where, yeah. And he got in there and jumped in. He's like, oh, this is just so refreshing. I was like, all right, all right. I ain't doing all that. I know how to swim, but I'll be damned if I jump in this water and I hear that boat leave. Like,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, no, that happened, and that was a joke by itself. Like, you can't even make that up. Like, it was,
Yeah.
it was just one of those moments where you just in there.
It's one of my favorite things about living, because I mean, I live right downtown Plymouth. There's just a cast of characters, and any
Oh
night
yeah.
you go out, you never ever know what's gonna happen. I mean, some of the most weird, strange things.
For that to be, like a small town in its own right there, like, I mean, those people are so friendly, and it was just so much going on wherever I went.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like going across the crosswalks, it's like people are, I'm like, oh, you go ahead. They're like, no, no, you go, you come on. I'm like, no, like you got the no. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk because I'm not about to keep fighting with you. Like, but it was just it was so much fun. It was definitely a great experience because I forget the bars we went to. Like, I mean, everybody was just friendly, and
Yeah.
you know, oh, you from out of town? You doing this and that? The brewery we went to was super dope. Like, I mean, it's a lot to do in that area, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know we ended up at the British Beer Company, which was like the little
Yeah.
tiny
Yep. Yep.
one. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorites. I don't remember where the hell. New World Tavern, because that's where the show was.
Yep.
Um,
I forget what it was called, but I think it was kind of across the street from there, and it has a downstairs and an upstairs, and I can't think of the name.
that's the British
Um,
Beer Company, the one that had the downstairs and
I
upstairs.
don't know. It was
Oh,
another.
Main Street,
Oh,
Main Street.
Main. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. We went
yeah.
there. We went there, and that was
I don't remember
that
that.
was
Was I there?
no. I went. I found that place by myself.
Oh, all
I
right,
was
all right.
just I was just strolling along,
Yeah.
and yeah, I ended up I mean, met a family. I was funny. I was just looking at their Instagram page. I'm like, oh, that's that lady from Boston. Like, and they broke out to like a dance off, and she's over there doing the worm. Like, I was like, oh man, like, just remember where the hotel at. That is my goal. Do not get lost in Plymouth. Just remember where the hotel at, because these people could drink out here.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally two streets down there. I mean, if you're
Right.
not on the street of your hotel, it's the other one. But so I'm kind of surprised. Like you don't write jokes. So do you, when you have a set? Like I feel like most comics kind of keep track of like, okay, this joke is 2 minutes, so this joke is 4 minutes, so they know kind of
No,
like.
I have no time frame of where I'm at in a set. It's all
So do you
based
just kind
off
of
of,
go until they give you the light?
yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I go until I get the light. They tell me you gonna do, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And they ask, when do you want the light? And I always get a light a minute before or 2 minutes before. So that way I can just wrap up.
Oh shit, delusion. I think I lost you. Oh no. There we go, and we're back.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't have a really a time frame of where I'm at. It's just I see that light, and that's when I'm like, all right, time to wrap it up with what I'm talking about. Cause I'm never, I think too much already when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And me trying to remember a script is, but I definitely need to. I will say that. I definitely need to, going forward, need to have some type of set and some type of plan when I go up there. But I'm just so comfortable with just being able to go up there and just having fun, talking to the crowd, getting the stuff off I want to say, and just kind of, being free with it to where, like I said, I know what I'm going to say. It's
Mhm.
just, when am I going to say it?
So you have kind of like set jokes. You just don't ever know what order they're going to come out in.
Never know what order they're gonna come out in. It's all in my head,
Yeah.
and like I know what works, and I just got to get better with having it written down, and I probably could do 25, 30 with what I have if I was to go in depth with the material, but where I'm at right now and everything that I'm doing is been 10 or 15, and I'm comfortable with doing the 10 or 15 with how I'm doing it. And now it's just getting there to, get to that next level to be able to do the, basically headliner spot of 20, 25, 30,
Yeah.
and get work to that hour.
I mean, is that like the end goal? Is that like you want to do like a Netflix kind of some sort of special, or do you want to like go back to the videos?
No, right now I'm enjoying both because I have it kind of down pat, and they both help me. Um, what I would like to do a special eventually, but I enjoy just hosting the show and bringing the energy up, and being like a feature on the show. I enjoy that more than being a headliner. I know everybody wants to be the headliner, but I'm like cool with just being a host and getting the energy up and bringing somebody up and being done with it. It's
Yeah.
that's easy. I mean, it's not really easy because you're basically the tone of the show. If you are, have a boring host or a host that can't bring that energy up for somebody, it kind of is like blah. So I never want to be that. I want to be that person that everybody have a good. They know we about to have a good time off rip. We gonna have some laughs. We gonna have some fun, and we gonna get this show rolling. So eventually, yeah, I would like to be a headliner, but I feel like that's gonna come when that time comes. I'd rather master what I can master right now and have fun and enjoy it, instead of having that pressure of want to be the headline. Everybody, people ask me, "You want a headline?" Nah, I don't, I'm cool. You can get that to somebody else.
And
Everybody
that's
wants to be.
it's kind of like an interesting double-edged sword where like the host definitely kind of sets the pace and the tone of the show, but like if the show kills, everyone's going to remember the headliner and not the host. But the same aspect, if it's kind of a dud, they're going to remember the headliner and not the host.
Sure, but see, I like so when I did it was mind blowing because just like how you just said, when I did the show for Miss Pat, she crushed every show,
Yeah.
kill, hour set, and I'm just up there, they selling their merch, taking pictures with the feature, her, and I'm just, off in the corner because, like you said, I'm just the host. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm off to the side, and people are coming up. I would want to take a picture with you. Where's your merchandise at? Like, we want to, picture with you. Like, I'm like, y'all remember me? Like, okay, cool. Like, so yeah, but that's my goal with hosting. Like, I want to be remembered. I know I'm the first one, and you probably will forget about me. But
Yeah.
my goal is to make you not forget about me.
Right.
Like, so I'm cool with that, and that's more like that's more of a challenge right there by itself. It's like, all right, I'm setting this show up. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good ass time, and we gonna, I'm gonna get this show ready for the headliner. So, and it was a thing. Some people were saying, it was a good show all the way through.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I did my job.
Right. What was the first kind of like surreal moment you had, like where someone approached you about like a photo or something? Like have people come back to a show and been like, "Oh, I came back to see you"? Like, have you had an experience where you're like, "Oh, that's fucking so crazy"?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of those. So I you say you don't watch sports, but it's a lady out there. Her name is Kay Adams, and she was on Good Morning Football, and like she's like known out there because she also is looks good.
Yeah,
And so she was a Bengals fan last year, and she was making posts about it, and so I just jokingly uh made a video about her, and saying if you ever come to Cincinnati, hit me up, blah blah blah. And she saw the video. I remember I was at work, and I look at my phone. It's like Kay Adams responded to your video. I was like, I literally almost dropped my phone. Like, what? And
yeah,
she said she was laughing and she loved it. And this went on. I want to say it sounds creepy, but she was responding. Everything was
yeah.
fine. It went on for
There's no
about
restraining order.
I did not get a restraint or nothing like that. But it went on for I want to say a month. Just week by week, the Bengals will win, and she would shout the Bengals out. I'll make another video. She would laugh. It was fun. And then the Bengals end up bringing her to Cincinnati for basically like our fan of the week that we
Yeah,
have at the stadium. It's called Ruler of the Jungle, and she came. So by this time, people are DMing me, messaging me, be like, hey, she's coming to Cincinnati. Like, you gotta meet her, you gotta meet her. I'm like, what the world? So that's kind of how I started getting like my Bengals following.
yeah,
And we end up going for I end up finding out what tailgate she was at. She's there. And I'm like, there's no way she's gonna know me. Like, I'm nervous. I'm like, I'm about to look stupid.
yeah.
So as soon as I go up to try to meet her, she turns around and she's like, oh my God, it's you. And I'm like, oh my God, it's you. Like, what? She's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
my Cincinnati boyfriend. And like, it was like a whole thing. And everybody's, oh, did you meet her? Like, yeah, like, it was like literally the craziest thing. And people were like, like that moment alone was like, I never got like hate message before, but
Yeah.
like those like other guys like that like her on like those like fake pages or whatever. You need to leave her alone. I can't believe like it was like the craziest moment ever. But that got me a lot of exposure with that and kind of put it out there for me to be able to do the Bengal stuff and you know made it what it was now. Like, I can't stop making the videos. People like, where's the video at? We haven't seen it. I'm like, I got you, got you.
Yeah. Do
But
you
it,
feel like there is that, like, does it start to feel like work? Are you kind of
oh
like,
yeah, I literally was just telling my aunt that the other day I was at a tailgate because I also do a Bengals prayer
yeah,
before every home game now. But actually before every game. It started off as a joke.
yeah,
And it I think it was last year I didn't do one. And I was in Houston, Texas on vacation. And I didn't do a post and we lost. And
and so now they blame
people
you.
were like, yeah, they were like, you didn't do a video. So now it's like I do a video and that has blown up to where now I have like t-shirts made because I do a saying. I say it's a beautiful Sunday, and that has become a big thing. And now I do a Bengals prayer live every home game at a tailgate for our Bengals super fans named Bengal Jim, and I do it
Yeah.
at his tailgate. And I mean, it's probably 200 people there,
Oh,
and
it's
I'm up there
crazy.
doing a Bengals prayer. And it's like that's people come up to me. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm like, oh, like it's like before it used to just be fun, and now
Yeah.
people are coming up. They want to take pictures and everything. So it's like kind of like like, so I can't be too out there now. But people.
Right.
I
That
mean,
that's
people.
that that's that like
Yeah,
funny part of like success where it's kind of like at some point you're like, okay, I kind of have to always be on a little bit, or
yeah, yeah. It's even like because I mean I'm not used to it at all. But now people are like kind of looking at you, and you looking like, what are you looking at? and they are trying to figure out where they know you from,
Yeah,
and
like
it's just
why does
like,
he look familiar?
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you looking at? And somebody walk up to me like, man, you're that guy. I'm like, from where? I'm like, oh wait, yeah, the videos. Yeah, yeah, that's me. Hey,
Yeah.
I only want to take a picture with you. I was like, I mean, it's definitely cool, and I'm loving it. And it still feels weird to say fans, but I just say supporters. I don't like saying fans, but I got some good supporters.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and it's such a weird world now as like entertainment becomes, you know, back in the day, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm an entertainer." That means like you sang or you were on TV, and now it's like, I make 12-second videos and you could be just as famous as anybody else.
Oh, it is crazy. I'm just enjoying the ride right now, man. Just can't wait to see where it goes, and can't wait to come back out there and do shows out there, and just you know make sure I'm just like we said, just keep being ready for these opportunities because you never know, you know what's gonna be the one.
So I feel like I'm in the mood to start some shit, and I know people get like up in arms about it, and it really means nothing to me. But any predictions for the Super Bowl?
Oh, right now, and this is gonna sound crazy. I'm buying into the Bengals and the Eagles making it to the Super Bowl because I mean, Eagles are high right now, and I mean, unless Brady does what Brady does best and gets in the playoffs and just goes crazy, but I think I'm riding with the Bengals and Eagles. I think that would be a good game. And that'll
See, I
be
just like to I like to stir the pot. So you're like, if you were from around here and you're like Brady does what Brady does best, I'd be like cheat.
I remember I mentioned Brady out there, and I'm thinking like, oh, this will be easy, And then somebody was like, oh, fuck Brady. I was like, oh, my bad. Like, yeah,
Oh, because he just left. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was
They're
like,
the
oh, I didn't know y'all felt so strong about him, but okay, I appreciate that. Let me know.
Oh yeah, they love you till in the second you go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's about how anywhere goes, especially if you just leave like I mean, y'all should have known Brady was leaving though. I think at that moment it was it was kind of
Yeah, it's. I mean, they all leave kind of that late in their career to chase another ring or whatever. I mean, that's
yeah,
you know,
I mean, it just made it easier from the AFC for us. We ain't have to worry about them no more.
yeah. That you're beyond my football knowledge.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I,
We
I know what the AFC is. I don't know why that's easier for you. I'm assuming he's not in the AFC in the something else.
since now he left, he went to the NFC, and now
NFC.
that
All right. Yeah.
yep, yep,
I
yep.
know.
See, look at you, look
No, I
at
don't
you,
know
look
at
at
all.
you. But yeah,
um,
yeah, nah.
but Harrison, where can our listeners go to find you? Where, what's your Instagram handle? If we happen to have Cincinnati fans, like where can they find out your videos or whatnot?
At Harrison the comedian on Instagram, and then it's just Harrison Butler on Facebook. Very simple, and not too hard. Not none of those underscore hashtag markers.
Nothing
Just
crazy.
not crazy. Just Harrison the comedian on Instagram and Harrison Butler on Facebook. That's where all my stuff is. YouTube is Harrison Butler. So yeah, just hit that follow, friend, subscribe, whatever you do. Tap
Cool.
in with me and get you some laughs.
No, I want to say thanks for coming on the show, man, and we'll get you back out here sometimes when the weather warms up. Um, but
Yeah.
in closing, why don't you give us a well, what day? What the hell is today? Today's Wednesday. Can you give us an impromptu Cincinnati or some sort of football prayer on our way out?
Uh, well, let's see. We playing Brady, so for y'all's sake, the Bengals, we gonna hold it down for y'all. We gonna unleash all that anger that y'all got going on for him. Put that on our defense shoulders, and we gonna make him pay for that. He shouldn't have did y'all like that. He shouldn't have did y'all. Y'all good people. So my Bengals Nation is gonna take care of y'all. Now I feel it in my spirit, in my soul. We gonna hold it down for y'all. You feel me? We got y'all. We got y'all over here. Who They Nation got Boston. We Boston strong for y'all.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I hope your football teams gets all the home runs. And for our listeners, we'll catch you guys again next week.
Appreciate it. See you.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. So thanks again for listening.